As the years go by, we have seen the unfortunate closure of thousands of stores in the United States, and the onset of a new economic downturn is not something that could favor the situation either. This only means we could expect plenty more stores to shut down in the coming years. Business owners are sure to deal with the struggle of a lifetime, and the inflation is taking too much of a toll on them. So, are the issues with supply chains? Reduction in consumers is only leading them to eat away at their sales and profits for months together. And just because of this, a good number of America's most recognizable retailers have gone bankrupt. Yes, you heard it right. Thousands of storefronts have come to an end due to the proliferation of e-commerce. We are all walking right into an era of e-commerce, whereas traditional brick-and-mortar stores have been turned into something that isn't a necessity at all. While the majority of businesses stand firm by their confidence and really believe they can provide something distinctive to their clients, some have drifted so far from their target market that when they realize there is no easy way to get back on course, they are compelled with no other option than to close their doors. The sad truth is, several of these chains may never again offer us the possibility to shop there. Alright, without further ado, here's the first one on our list: Kmart. Your hearts are definitely going to sink because we are very close to living in a world with no Kmarts. Owing to the terrible process of almost complete liquidation the company is going through, there are currently only 3 Kmart locations open in the United States. Yep, just 3. Sears Holdings, the company that controlled both Sears and Kmart, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the first time in 2018, narrowly averting liquidation. Kmart is a discount retail chain that reached its peak of 2,400 locations in the early 1990s, but has failed to modernize its stores, allowing bigger competitors like Walmart and Target to take away a significant portion of its market share. Together, Sears and Kmart have closed more than 3,500 stores and laid off roughly 250,000 workers over the past 15 years since both brands were sold to their longtime investor and CEO Eddie Lampert. 2. Barnes & Noble. Being acquired by the British company Elliott Advisors Limited didn't really give Barnes & Noble the breakthrough we thought it would. The famed bookshop reportedly failed after the outbreak and declared bankruptcy in March 2021. According to the New York Times, the company's revenue has dropped by 50% over the past 2 years. In December of last year, 197 of its 600 remaining outlets were scheduled for closure. According to Scott Amick, Barnes & Noble apparently loses $10 million in sales per year and has negative cash flow. If consumer trends don't shift, Barnes & Noble will continue to lose money and eventually go out of business. 3. AMC. It sure is a wonder how AMC maintains its 620 sites spread across the nation. We can only expect it to become more and more difficult as streaming services become even more popular. What's even more surprising is that even though the company saw its share price soar, it became a meme stock in a historic gamma squeeze led by retail investors. Now that is just really bad luck. However, its financial situation has not improved enough to justify the size of its physical presence. The movie theater chain warned last year that it might run out of cash and would have to file for bankruptcy if it did not obtain liquidity. Since then, AMC has raised $104 million by selling about 38 million of its 200 million shares, but it still faces a cash shortage. In December, it announced plans to raise an additional $1 billion. 4. True Religion Apparel. One of the many youth-focused retailers that might be beyond rescuing is True Religion Clothing. When the pandemic forced the permanent closure of over 140 stores nationwide, the company filed for bankruptcy a second time in 2020. It had previously filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2017 and had reduced its total debt to roughly 1/4 of its pre-bankruptcy levels. 5. Sears. We can all blame the declining annual revenues which have caused the company to announce their intentions to close 7 more outlets this year, when we only have 25 of them left. This deadline sure is shocking, because Sears have been a retail store with tens of thousands of branches since the early 2000s. The fact that there may not be any Sears stores left in the country by the middle of 2023, according to Bill Draper, a Wall Street analyst at Susquehanna, underscores the company's precarious financial situation. The company has not been profitable since 2011, and same-store sales have been declining for 10 years in a row, along with tighter payment requirements and/or product withholding from the manufacturers, he added. 6. GNC. In 2020, the GNC chain of vitamin and health food stores filed for bankruptcy and said it will close 1,400 locations. While GNC stores have been financially struggling for years, insiders in the market claimed that the internet had allowed a flood of competitors to enter the market and provide more and cheaper options. According to a statement posted on the company website, we were unable to complete our refinancing, and the unexpected change in the operating climate had a significant negative impact on our firm. 7. Staples and Office Depot. The most unfortunate thing to happen to office supply stores is that these days you don't really have to physically view anything in order to purchase it, or in simpler words, see the item in person in order to purchase it. For instance, we're all aware of what notebooks look like, so there is no need to visit a store to examine or try them on, according to Jesse Harrison, CEO of the Employee Justice League. He believes that companies like Staples and Office Depot will close within the next few years because Office Depot's stocks have been steadily declining since December 2019. In the United States, 198 Office Depot and Staples sites were shuttered in 2015, bringing the overall number up. 8. Gap. Well, fashionistas, you're not gonna believe this one. No matter how trendy you feel in those amazing Gap jeans of yours, it's almost time to say goodbye to Gap too. Gap is one well-known brand that might cease operations in 2022, according to financial writer Stacey Caprio. Their revenue is primarily based on consumer spending at retail stores, which has fallen precipitously in recent years as a result of coveted lockout policies. If they want to innovate and focus more on the internet than on retail, they will need to make this decision. Another casualty is their decision to stop paying rent for their remaining stores. 9. JCPenney. Never thought we'd be seeing the end of this one, yet here we are. The retail industry was severely impacted by JCPenney lockdowns and stay-at-home orders, and some claim that JCPenney, another legacy brand that may be discontinued, was finally doomed by the epidemic. The principal at C Street Creative stated that the company had about 600 physical stores left standing and a shrinking customer base, adding that JCPenney has already gone through its fair share of turmoil. 10. Abercrombie & Fitch. The teen-targeted clothing industry has struggled since high-end labels left vogue, and more recently it has also had to deal with fallout from offensive remarks made by former CEO Michael Jeffries. According to a Deutsche Bank report, Abercrombie & Fitch has experienced a continuous fall in its profit margin and retail footprint since declaring bankruptcy for the first time in 2008. The company liquidated 137 branches in 2020 and announced plans to close up to 60 stores in the US during its most recent earnings call. The future of the company is bleak. The retail apocalypse could actually be a sign of a larger issue, which is also why we have serious doubt about Abercrombie's capacity to maintain its gross profit margin in the face of its competitive online retail environment. The middle class's stagnation or collapse as a result of inflation and rising interest rates. After meeting their monthly responsibilities for necessities, many in the middle class have seen their spending power decline. Am I right? Because internet shopping is so convenient. Online shopping offers several advantages, one of which is the convenience of having your goods delivered right to your home. According to a UBS study, 80,000 more businesses are expected to close their doors by 2026, bringing the total number of businesses that have shut down in the last 5 years to hundreds of thousands. For each business that closes, dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of jobs will be lost. The collapse of America's mega corporations has left the nation's economic landscape in ruin. What are your opinions on this? Feel free to let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on the tiny bell icon on the side to stay notified and updated on all of our upcoming content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.